cracked exhaust manifold was causing these codes on my Honda Civic. So I had a spare exhaust manifold, but it had a crack in it also. So it wasn't really going to do me any good. As you can see, you could pull that thing out in one piece. So this is 3 separate pieces. I found a replacement on this website, Max Peating Rods. As you can see, it's going to come with a catalytic converter and hardware. It comes with a couple gaskets. I ended up not using the exhaust manifold gasket. I bought one from O'Reilly's. Alright, so this is for a D16Y7, but they have other ones available. 125 bucks is a good deal, considering that the other one that I had found was something like $350. I only got 18 in stock as of the last time I checked this website. I'll check with the company and see if they have more available in stock. So these are the parts assembled. Now you have to use that stock exhaust pipe. As you can see, I put it all together. This is the stock exhaust pipe bolted onto what you get. I'm gonna install it all in one piece, and that makes it a lot easier. Don't install it with the O2 sensor in. And yeah, it does come with a heat shield. Alright, so if you take a look inside the manifold here, it's a really rough surface. It's not very polished. So, you know, this isn't a performance part. This is an OEM replacement. So I wouldn't consider this to be an upgrade. This is just a stock replacement. I was really surprised at how rough the interior was. Another thing I was concerned about is the O2 sensor bung. In the photograph on the website, they don't even have a photograph of this O2 sensor bung. So I emailed them and asked them about it, and they said it would be all good. So luckily they have 2 spots there. Now you gotta pull this plastic shield to the side. It's just some 10mm bolts, and I usually just disconnect the majority of it and wrap it around like that, get it out of the way. I apologize guys, I didn't film the install. I forgot to set up my camera and film that, so it's already installed by now. You see this part down here, I usually just, that's a little flexible piece of metal. I usually just bend that thing out of the way instead of disconnecting it from the engine. I just bend that into place. Alright, so disconnecting this is kind of a pain in the ass. With these O2 sensor clips are kind of a pain to disconnect. I usually use a small screwdriver. You got to depress the tab while using the screwdriver to work it off, and then it's connected to the engine block down below on the other side. When tightening the exhaust manifold bolts, start from the center and work towards the outside. Alright, so now we're all installed here, and as you can see, it's a 12mm socket for the majority of these. I think it's a 12mm down below. Alright, so now it's time for the downward O2 sensor. It's pretty easy to install except for that plug, which is up there by the fan. It's a 22mm wrench, and yeah, this wire has too much slack. So I actually have to wrap it around an air conditioning. You can see that I wrap it around that air conditioning pipe. You gotta keep that thing tucked up and out of the way once it's plugged in. I didn't use these gaskets provided, so I ended up buying some O'Reilly's parts. I think they're better quality. This is the O2 sensor I got from O'Reilly's. When I install it, I like to put the wire in between the air conditioning lines. That way I can thread it in without twisting up the wire. And then after I've got it all threaded in, then I re-feed the wire around. As you can see, I don't keep it in between those lines. For some reason, it was incredibly hard to plug in the new O2 sensor. I almost thought that I got the wrong part, but after looking at the plugs, I could see that it was just difficult to plug in. And what's funny is I realized that after I got this all hooked up that I forgot the heat shield. So I had to take the O2 sensor back out, put on the heat shield, I'm pretty sure that it was two 13mm bolts tightened down the heat shield. Now there is a connection down here to the engine block, and I didn't connect that. I was feeling lazy. And now all that's left is to connect this plastic shield down below with the 10mm bolts. So now it's time to use the trusty OBD2 scanner that I got from O'Reilly's to clear the car's codes, and then I'll run the engine and make sure that it doesn't get any codes with the new parts installed. So we got the typical codes. This is what I've been getting with the cracked exhaust manifold. So we clear the code, and now we'll check to see if the engine runs fine. Of course, everything runs fine. We got all new parts, so there shouldn't be any problem. Guys, thank you so much for joining me on this video. I got a lot more videos coming out on this channel because I work on my cars a lot. I got a lot of vehicles. We got 5 cars, Buick Regal, we got a Honda Civic SI, we got 2 Honda Civics that I use for driving around town, and I got a broken down Ford Ranger that I need to fix. So feel free to subscribe to the channel, check out my other content, guys, and like I said, I really appreciate you guys stopping by. Thank you so much. Until next time, this is Regal Civic. I'm out.